Greetings, everyone. So I wrote down my sentiments because I didn't want to, be interrupted by the timer. I am Dr. Swinger, and I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma. I was initiated here in Lambda Sigma Chapter in the fall of 2018. I currently teach social studies in Clayton County, where I serve as the department chair for my school. I'm also on the curriculum writing team for the district of Clayton County. I'll be starting as an adjunct professor in August at Kennesaw State University. That's why I also obtained my doctoral degree. To begin, I'm gonna give one of my quotes that I guide my goals and system by. It's by Malcolm X. It says, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." I often share my story with people about why I wanted to teach and become an author. So in middle school, I spent a lot of time in in-school suspension. All right. So one of my teachers, he said, "Man, that's might as well just add you to the class to be on the roster." I was in trouble, not because of my academics, but because of my behavior. I was often bored and would act out as a class clown. Many teachers labeled me as a distraction. I had a substitute teacher that told me one day, "You're gonna end up in one of two places, jail or hell." He didn't know me, he just knew how I presented myself. I did not want this to be my story, and luckily, I found some outstanding mentorship in high school. One of my teachers is in the room, Mr. Hickman. All right, and that led me to a path that I could be proud of. Now, I am mentoring others, including students and teachers, to set great paths in their lives and careers. I created a goal to lead schools and showing people that my path was not one of jail or hell, but one of success. So I adopted that mindset that you can achieve anything if you approach it every day like it was the first day. So treat every day like the first day. It's part story, but it's also part strategy. It's for educators, it's for mentors and dreamers who know the power of engagement, hope, and showing up with intention. The book is a tribute to students who've been underestimated and to educators who refuse to let them fall through the cracks. And treat every day like the first day, I discuss how educators can maintain the energy of the first day throughout the entire year and not just in August. So I discuss practical strategies that I research and implemented myself. My favorite part of the book and the story that each chapter has a journey to the topic that it covers. So these sections are titled Way Back When. I'm gonna read one of my favorite pages here on page 67. So it says, "Way back when, journey to competition. My first year of high school marked a pivotal moment in my educational journey. I had a white teacher for the first time, and the subject was social studies. Most of my classmates had already written her off from the beginning. They assumed the class would be boring, irrelevant to our history, and that she wouldn't last long. After all, in our school, most white educators rarely made it to the end of the year. But against all odds, this teacher not only stayed, she created one of the most engaging learning experiences I have ever encountered. Every single day before class started, we played Simon Says. To this day, I have no idea how I connected to the content, but it didn't matter. It became our tradition, a routine that we regularly and eagerly anticipated. If she ever forgot to start the game, we quickly reminded her, "Oh, we forgetting something." All right? This game energized us, brought us together, and prepared us mentally for the lesson. It made us feel like winners before the class ever began. For many of us, winning was something we rarely experienced outside of that classroom. That daily competition gave us something we didn't even know we needed, a sense of achievement. It wasn't just about getting the answers right, it was about proving ourselves capable. That feeling of success spilled in other classes. Our math teacher noticed how engaged we were in social studies and decided to incorporate games into our lessons as well. We played round robin where we had to answer math problems correctly to stay standing. I made it my mission to be the last one standing every time. For the first time, being smart was fun. I didn't have to hide or downplay my intelligence to fit in. I was part of a learning environment where competition was about putting others down but uplifting ourselves. It gave marginalized students like me a chance to win, not just in a game, but in life. This experience taught me a powerful lesson. Competition can be a catalyst for engagement in the classroom. It creates excitement, motivates students to participate, and builds confidence in their abilities. When students feel like they have a chance to succeed, they become invested in their learning. What started as a simple game of Simon Says transformed into something more significant. It made me want to learn, compete, and most importantly, win. When I started teaching, I noticed many students were disengaged and uninterested in traditional learning methods. However, everything changed when I introduced competitive elements into my classroom. I remember the first time I organized a debate. I divided the class into teams and assigned them a controversial topic in history, supporting Du Bois or Booker T. Washington. At first, some students hesitated, unsure if they had the skills to participate. But as they began preparing, researching, and forming arguments, I saw a transformation. Students who rarely spoke up in class became vocal advocates for their positions. They challenged each other respectfully, developed confidence, and most importantly, engaged deeply with the content. I incorporated historical simulation games and even business pitch contests into my curriculum. The results were remarkable. Students who once refused to complete assignments suddenly stayed after class to refine their ideas. The energy in the classroom shifted from passive compliance to active learning. Competition became the spark that ignited their engagement, proving that when students feel invested in their success, they rise to the challenge. Let's treat every day like the first day. My second book is kind of like, I call it my love letter. My love letter to Black excellence. It's the ABCs of Black brilliance. It's a children's book, but really it's a family book. So many of the people discussed in this book are new to many adults. I actually talked to some educators, and I was like, I'll talk about Claudette Colvin in there. She's like, who's Claudette Colvin? And this is a grown person who is an educator, all right? But there's people in here like Claudette Colvin, Hiram Revels, Kwame Ture, from A in Africa to Z to the heroes like Zora Neale Hurston, the Zulu tribe and beyond. This book aims to ensure that our children see themselves in the stories that shape the world. Because brilliant isn't rare, it's often just unrecognized. I wanted to produce this book around Father's Day and Juneteenth, so it just came out, just released. Because my children, my youngest two children, serve as inspirational authors to the text. It's about Black excellence and the unsung heroes in history. So I began talking about one of my favorite quotes by Malcolm X. However, the words I leave you with are the foundation of my perseverance in succeeding, and I hope they inspire you to keep going. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the roads you're trudging seem all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care's pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit.